Please rise and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. Supervisor Bittinger is joining us via phone today. Can you hear us, Dan?
Yes, sir, Mark. Yep.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Yep.
The first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda, and I would move that.
Second.
Motion by Nelson, seconded by Dietrich. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes 5-0. Consent agenda. Items 2 through 4 constitute a consent agenda of routine action items to be considered by one motion. Items pass unanimously unless a separate vote is requested by a board member. Item 2 is approval of the minutes of the December 30th, 2025 meeting and approval of the minutes from the January 2nd, 2026 meeting. Item 3, approval of claims. Item 4 from Human Resources, Melissa Thomas. Item A is a memorandum of personnel transactions. Item B is to authorize to initiate the hiring process. Item C is approval of overlap of positions in the sheriff's office. And that ends the consent agenda.
I'll move it.
Second, motion by Dietrich, seconded by Nelson. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Carries 5-0. All right, on to the regular agenda. First up, we have from Human Resources, Melissa Thomas, and this is approval of the 2026 liability insurance coverage. That, take it away.
Good afternoon. So this is for the annual renewal for our liability insurance. And in the backup, I did show the examples of the three offers that we did receive. One, the very first one, they reduced our coverage by $5 million, but did not change the premium much. You know, the second proposed program was bringing on a supplement at the $125,000 with our previous carrier. And then the third option, which is the one I'm recommending, is the $10 million, which we have currently for a price of $407,000 for the year. That's an additional $50,000 for the year. Now, what's covered is our general liability, be it $10 million, $300,000 deductible, employee benefits liability, law enforcement liability, automobile liability, and also public official liability. So with that, take any questions, but I do recommend the $10 million in coverage for the year.
Any discussion? Everything seems to cost more, so I don't think we want to go backwards
All
on our
right.
liability coverage.
Right, exactly.
No other discussion. I would move approval of approving Obsidian Specialty Insurance with the $10 million of liability insurance coverage.
I'll second.
Second.
Sorry, Dan, Dave beat you out. Motion by Nelson,
Nope.
seconded by Dietrich. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Passes 5-0.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
All right, item 6 from Planning and Zoning, Dan Priestley. Item A is to receive the final report and recommendation from the Zoning Commission following their December 22, 2025 meeting to approve the final plat of the Wingert and Clark Addition, a minor subdivision in Woodbury County.
Yes, Dan Priestley, Planning and Zoning. This recommendation from the Zoning Commission is approval, and keep in mind that the applicants reach out to county staff in the event of adding driveways and things of that nature. And this property is 3 miles east of Sioux City. It's on the north side of 180th Street. It's east of Charles Avenue and west of Delaware Avenue in the Agricultural Preservation Zoning District. And it's a pretty basic split of 5 acres.
Any questions for Dan? You have
I'll move
something?
to receive it. Nope, I don't have
Okay.
anything.
Move to receive, second. Motion by Dietrich, seconded by Nelson. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes 5-0. Item B is approval. Approve the Wingert and Clark addition, a minor subdivision to Woodbury County, Iowa.
And I'll just say this is one of our more routine type of subdivisions where we split out a lot just by virtue of there being another split within a quarter section, which leads us to this style of development where it'll enable the property owners at some point to maybe get a building permit for a house, and they just have to keep in mind the driveway and all the other associated permits.
Was there any concerns at any of the zoning commission meetings regarding this?
It pretty much came straightforward. It kind of had a little unique right-of-way scenario there, kind of pushed out, and Commissioner Bride kind of questioned the layout of that, and everything came out good.
Okay. Well, then I would move approval.
Second.
Second.
Sorry, Dan, you got beat again. Motion by Nelson, seconded by Dietrich. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Passes 5-0. Thank you for your work on that and for the zoning commission. Item C is approval of appointment of Chris Zelmer-Zant to the Woodbury County Zoning Commission for a 5-year term.
Yeah, and so we followed our typical procedure kind of beginning in about mid-October to solicit applications from the public for these positions, and the incumbent members as well as the public can apply. And we did not have a whole lot of applications this time around. And Chris Zelmer-Zant, of course, our long-term member, has agreed to apply, and we submit our application to you. And in past years, when we've had multiple candidates, you might remember the kind of the interviewing process that you previously went through. So after our deadline, beginning in December, this is where we cut off on the application. So we present the zoning commissioner, Zelmer-Zant, to you for potential approval to this appointment.
Yeah, and I know that you and I talked several times, and I had made Facebook posts asking if anybody wanted to do that, and I think, did you advertise that the applications were open? And not saying that Chris is all we got, but Chris has been great on the zoning commission, so I would be very in favor of putting her back on if she wants to do another 5-year stint. So, any questions for Dan regarding this appointment or application? No. Well, I would move approval. Motion by Nelson, seconded by Ung. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes 5-0. Item D, from also planning and zoning, is approval of the appointment of Pam Clark to the Woodbury County Board of Adjustment for a 5-year term.
Yes, and a similar situation with the Board of Adjustment. Pam has submitted an application. She is with us here this evening as well. She would be going into an additional term, and if I'm correct, you finished up a previous term of an
That's what I
individual,
thought,
so this would be your second full term.
Yeah, who did you replace, Pam? I was trying to recall, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure who it was.
yeah. It'll come to me.
Well, since Pam likes to pick on me with the newspaper, the Mobile Record, I'm going to request that she comes up here and at least tells one thing that she enjoys about the Board of Adjustment. Then maybe if we have anybody in the future that wants to apply for this commission, they can say, well, it's because Pam Clark talked about how great of a time she has on there. So,
Pam Clark.
I just enjoy hearing the different cases that come up that require like a variance. And it gets really interesting sometimes. And I will say it gets somewhat difficult sometimes too. We've had some cases that where they you wanted to go one way, but you felt like you needed to go the other way. So I've learned a lot. I didn't know a thing about what that committee did until I came on the Board of Adjustment. So I guess I've just really learned a lot about governance in our Woodbury County. And I think more people should be involved and learn more about what everybody does and why it's necessary to be on these jobs. So thank you for hearing
Thanks
me.
for serving. Yeah, we
Yeah.
appreciate it. So, well, with that, I would move approval of the appointment of Pam Clark to the Woodbury County Board of Adjustment.
Second.
Motion by Nelson, seconded by Carper. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries 5-0. And then item E is approval of the construction evaluation resolution relating to construction permits for large animal confinement operations.
Okay, this is a routine one we usually do about the first or second meeting of January. It's the county's relationship with the Iowa DNR as it relates to the institution or permitting of animal hog confinements with the level of animal heads over the 1,000 units, which it basically gives the county, puts the county on record of having the relationship with the DNR and gives us a voice to look at the master matrix when someone is citing a particular facility, and we have a chance to look at various separation distances from, housing, waterways, houses of faith, schools, et cetera. So it gives us a chance to have this procedure in place so that we can bring it forward to the board for approval, that the public has some say in what goes on. Otherwise, typically your ag exemption and your animal levels below that unit pretty much can be instituted across the board. And we know that zoning and the balance of agriculture and the balance of lifestyle, the state has attempted with the master matrix to try to find some common ground where agriculture can coexist. So this is kind of the mechanism, and they always put up a chart every year that how many counties have actually agreed to go in on this, and the vast majority of them do. And this is approval of that resolution that gets sent over to the DNR to put us on the books to be able to share in that relationship with them. So.
Any questions for Dan?
Is this something new, Dan, or is it something that we've always done in the past?
It's
this
been
a
around.
renewal?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's been around quite a while, and I know before I came here in December of 17, I know it was quite debated quite a bit in the mid-2000 teens about how we balance those interests because of being able to go get those permits. So it was a matter of, does the county have a voice as far as these being instituted in the neighborhoods? It's still a level of DNR permitting, but it does put them on the record to share with us the information as far as where they're going to put it. And they actually have to go through a rubric, and they get points for how their facility fits in. We calculate the points, they calculate the points, so it's kind of a verification thing. Then we bring you back the report at some point and kind of have another public discussion.
Didn't we have maybe that one was under the master matrix, but remember there was a hog barn that was built northeast of Mobile here this past year that I know reached out to zoning, and I think they went through the rubric, but they were too small for the master matrix, I think. But
Yeah, so exactly. So when I get that question, we always try to point and work with the DNR to find out exactly where that number is, because if the number is clearly under, then it's pretty much out of the county's hands as far as the siting and location. So they've got some parameters that they have to go through at the state level. But if they go over those animal units, and it's kind of a bit of a formula where you take a ratio and you multiply based on the weight and everything of the hogs, basically, and it's a matter of finding where they hit on that number, And when they do hit on that number, the DNR, I know they typically contact either the board office or the auditor's office, and we get this big grand announcement that they've entered into that process. And this resolution also allows county staff to be able to go out there on site with them, is the way that they kind of originally set this up, so we can kind of see what's going on. So we have a way to be able to kind of give you a firsthand account on what's going on, as well as have that rubric in place. And we do have the chance to disagree with a rubric or say, hey, maybe this number isn't matching up, and kind of negotiate through that. And I think that's what the state kind of ended up coming about as far as a negotiation to navigate through that. Because I know it can be quite controversial when somebody is going to add one to a neighborhood. And I know many of you've experienced that before as far as the discussion. So I do think it's a signal to the public that we do care about what's going on in our neighborhoods. We care about both agriculture and residential, and having that balance. And so versus the DNR just being able to go permit it at those large scales, we do have a sense of a voice through this.
Any other questions for Dan? Seeing none, I would move approval. Motion by Nelson, seconded by Ung. Sorry. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Carries 5-0. Thanks,
Thank you.
Dan. All right, item 7 is reports on committee meetings. All right. Dan, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Then we'll move on. Item 8, citizen concerns. Seeing none, we'll move on to item 9, board concerns. We have a LEC meeting next Tuesday, correct, Dave? And then we're gonna have a joint closed session afterwards. Also, there is a conference board meeting at noon on Tuesday next week. Dave, I don't know if you and I could make that, since you got the LEC meeting after that.
Okay.
That's here at the courthouse. Okay, so Dave and I will plan to go to the conference board meeting at noon. And then, this is, I guess, confirmation from the supervisors and for the public. We are planning to have an all-day budget hearing on February 6th. Did everybody see that email, and that all works? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Great, Dan. So, we're gonna have an all-day, budget hearing. We're gonna start at 8:30, and that way we can go in the afternoon. We're gonna have it kind of segmented as far as departments and what time they're gonna come and present. We'll obviously break for lunch, but there'll be more to come on that. But Friday, right? It's a Friday. We're gonna spend the end of the week with Ryan all day. I couldn't think of anything better.
It sounds like a great time.
Yeah, sounds like a great time. Yeah, yeah. So Friday, February 6th.